Today on Judge Faith, neighbors at war come to court.
I know what I heard. It sounded like somebody was being thrown against the wall.
What happened was, me and him was arguing when she pulled back up. She had a baby in her hand.
Okay.
He said, baby, give me the baby and whoop this BA.
Do you love your children?
Yes, I do.
You are teaching them to solve their problems with violence.
Faith Jenkins. Her distinguished legal career began when she graduated first in her law school class. She quickly became a tough New York City prosecutor, and then a preeminent legal analyst on cable news. And now she's the judge in her own courtroom. Her cases are real, and her rulings are final. She is Judge Faith. Plaintiffs Crystal Sims and Germaine McFarley say their combative tenant is destroying their apartment and is late on paying the rent. They're suing for a security deposit, rent due, and property damage. Defendant Elizabeth Ross says she doesn't owe any money because Germaine never made the promised repairs to the apartment. She's countersuing for the return of rent and a security deposit.
All rise. Court is in session. The Honorable Judge Faith Jenkins presiding. Please be seated. Your Honor, the litigants have been sworn in. This is the case of McFarley versus Ross.
Thank you, Juan. Germaine McFarley?
Yes.
You and Crystal Sims
Yes.
are suing the defendant Elizabeth Ross
Yes.
for $900 for security deposit, rent due, and property damage?
Yes.
And you're countersuing, ma'am, for $790 for the return of rent and a security deposit?
Yes.
Okay, so why don't we start from the beginning, Mr. McFarley? Why don't you tell me what's going on here?
Well, our defendant here, I met her through a mutual friend, and she needed a place to go because she was getting evicted from her previous place.
Okay.
So I told her about my place needed work and everything. And
What place is this?
This is next door. I own a two-family flat, side-by-side two-family flat.
Mm-hmm. So you live in one part,
Yes.
and you decided to lease out the other
Yes.
part. Okay, and so when was that? What month and year?
That was like the end of March of 2015,
When did she move in?
April.
What was the agreement in terms of rent?
She was supposed to give me $1,100 for security deposit
Mm-hmm.
and $550 in rent.
And was there anything in writing?
Yes. Yes.
You have it in writing, the
Yes,
agreement?
we have
May I
a
see
lease
it, please? Okay, let me see that. And what do you say the agreement was?
The agreement was that I give him $500 because I would only pay $550 a month. And so he agreed to $1,000, but that also changed later.
Okay, but you did sign this, I mean, this is the original copy. You signed an agreement, right?
Right, but it
A
wasn't
lease?
what he just said, Your Honor.
Okay, so let me just look at it. It says here that you will pay monthly rent in the amount of $600. Is that correct?
That's correct.
Okay. You will pay a total of $1,100 as a security deposit.
No, that's not what was done, though.
Okay, so what happens? She
Okay.
moves in, and what's going on?
Okay, we made the...
Oh, are you still living in this apartment?
Yes,
Yes.
I am.
Okay. All right, so what's going on?
Okay, the agreement was she didn't have the whole $1,100. So I told her, since I still needed to do work on the place and I would come over there and do work, you would pay me a partial, including the rent, plus an extra $50 or $100.
How much do you say she paid you?
Probably $690.
Not probably.
It
How
was
much do you say she
$690
paid you?
exactly.
Okay, is that true, ma'am?
No, ma'am, that's not true.
How much did you say you gave
I
him?
paid him $790, and the agreement was, don't worry about it because the house needs so much work, the rest of the security deposit.
Okay, go ahead, sir.
The thing is, when I told her that the apartment would need work, I would work on it, then she would work on paying me the whole $1,100.
How did it need work?
Because I needed work done into it,
Like
as
what,
far
for
as,
example?
Like I redid the bathroom while she was staying there.
Was it inspected and was it up to code when you leased it to the defendant?
No, it wasn't.
Okay, it's supposed to be.
Right.
Go ahead.
Right. She told me she needed a place to stay because she was getting evicted from her last house due to domestic violence on her boyfriend.
Mm-hmm.
So I told her, well, we came up with an agreement, and she moved in on April the 1st,
And who all moved in?
2015. She moved in with her 2 kids, her boyfriend, and then later on, a week later, got a roommate.
That's
Okay, and
nice.
who do you say moved in, ma'am?
Me and my 2 kids moved in. The following day after I moved in, my roommate moved in, which is...
The next day?
The very next day.
Okay, but there's an agreement in place that you would be living there, right?
Right, but I talked to Mr. McFarley about it before I allowed her to do that. He agreed to it as long as I was responsible for this woman if for whatever reason she did not pay her half of the rent.
Okay, and did you have that conversation?
No, it wasn't like that.
What was the conversation?
I told her that since you moved someone else in, I would have to add them to the lease agreement, plus the rent will go up to $600.
Is that true?
That's correct.
Okay. And so what happens?
So we came to that agreement. Ms. Ross stayed there the first month. Then her and her roommate started getting into it every day.
What do you mean getting into it? Fighting?
Yes,
That
fighting.
night that she moved in, her and her boyfriend was fighting.
That's a
Okay.
The
lie.
very next day, she came outside and tried to tell me that it was her autistic son that was making all the racket.
Oh, because you had complained that there was noise?
Yes, I did.
What did you hear
that
exactly?
night, it sounded like somebody was being thrown against the wall. Then you could hear both of them
Rumble.
cussing.
What was going on?
That's a lie.
hollering.
My son was wrestling with one of my friends.
How old
and
is your son?
He's 10. And they were wrestling around, and I told them to cut it out, stop it,
What time of
stop
night
it.
was this?
2 o'clock in the morning?
We have been cleaning.
It was about 2.
2 o'clock in the morning?
But we had been cleaning the house because it wasn't ready. So I had
Okay.
been up all night cleaning.
So you said she said
emptying
she
it out.
heard cursing and
Yeah,
yelling
a
and
grown
shouting
man
and people
and a
being
grown
thrown.
woman, and then our
up against the
bedrooms
wall.
are right next door to each
Door
other.
to
They're
each other.
separated by a small wall.
Okay.
I know what I heard.
Coming up, the feuding gets physical.
She snatched the door open and began attacking me.
That's all the scratch marks.
That
She
she did.
scratched at me like a cat. It
And
was
this
straight
is
scratches.
The next day after she moved
The next
in.
morning.
Plaintiffs Crystal Sims and Germaine McFarley say they want Elizabeth out of their apartment. But first, she needs to pay. They're suing for a security deposit, rent, and property damage. Defendant Elizabeth Ross says she doesn't owe any money because since day one, the apartment has been in disrepair. She's countersuing for the return of rent and a security deposit.
Okay, and so she says that she heard grown man and woman yelling, screaming, cursing.
That's a lie.
And you say it was your 10-year-old son
It
wrestling?
was my 10-year-old son wrestling with a grown person, but I was telling them cut that
At 2
ass
o'clock in
out.
the morning?
Yes,
Yeah.
because they were helping me empty out the house. The house
That's
had to
true.
be even emptied out.
Okay, I understand that, but at 2 o'clock in the morning, they're up wrestling?
Yes, 'cause they
okay,
were still
go ahead.
woke.
So
Yeah.
what happens the next day?
So the very next day, she came outside. I was taking my son to school. She came outside and tried to apologize to me and told me that it was her son. I didn't accept the apology. I got in the car, took my son to school. Came back home, and they was into it.
Yes.
They had got into another argument, but the argument was over her telling him that I was lying about them or what I heard. You know, as the morning went along, me and her started getting into it. And then when I came outside, I have a 1-year-old. Well, we have a 1-year-old. I came outside with my son. I noticed that she getting ready to start coming at me. So when I handed my son
do
to
you mean
him,
coming at you?
like
lie.
she was trying to try to fight me.
That's
Okay.
a lie.
So when he grabbed my son and I turned around, she swung at me. And when she swung at me, I had scratch marks all over my face. She tried to Mike Tyson my ear.
What happened?
What happened was, me and him was arguing when she pulled back up, okay? She had a baby in her hand.
Okay.
He said, baby, give me the baby and whoop this BA. She's
Oh, really?
snatched open my
Really?
screen door, and that's when
To
we
your
got-
house?
To my house, to the
But
back
we
door,
are in
because
the
me and him were
backyard.
arguing in the backyard, and that's
That's not
exactly
true.
what she did. She snatched the
not
door
true. That's not
open
true.
and
That's
began attacking me.
Oh, so she attacked
But
you?
I got
Yes, she
pictures
did.
of my
Okay,
face
who called
messed up.
did someone
I
call the
called the
police?
police.
Yes.
Yes,
I
I
made
Did you
did.
witness
report.
this?
Yes, I'm witnessing.
Did you break it up?
Yes, I had my baby
No.
in one hand and I grabbed her with the other hand.
Who called the police?
I did.
Did you call the police?
No, a
Okay.
friend of mine called the police, and
Let
he
me
was the
see
one that broke
Let
it
me see
up.
the photos. Whose photos are these?
Mine.
These are-
This
oh.
is
That's where she tried to Mike Tyson my ear
Yeah.
off, and I had an earring at the top
top
of
of
it.
her ear.
That's all the scratch marks.
that
She
she did.
scratched at me like a cat. It
And
was
this
straight
is
scratches.
The next day after she moved
The
in.
next morning.
Did you do that? You did that
Your
to her
Honor,
face?
she attacked me. I defended
Really?
myself.
Really?
Yes.
Okay.
And the
She
photos
attacked
clearly
me,
see it.
and I defended myself. I didn't have any choice. I was in my
How
house.
were you injured? What injuries did you have?
I was sore. I was hurt.
Okay,
I had some scratches.
and then you called the police.
Yes.
My friend called the police
called
because
the
when he
police.
tried to break
Who
over
filed the
each other.
police report?
I did.
You filed. What happened to the case? Were you arrested?
No, I told
What?
her to drop the case.
Why is that?
Because I thought she was gonna move.
Because we
I
had
asked
an
her to move.
agreement that I wouldn't press charges with
If
her
she
if she
moved.
moved.
Okay, but that didn't happen.
No, it
No.
didn't.
So
No.
why haven't you pressed charges?
They had said or made the
This
agreement.
was the next
week
day.
after.
This was the next day after she
Yeah.
moved in.
We should have.
So what is it? So she beat my girlfriend, but she pays the rent on time, so we cool.
No, I'm
nothing
not
ever
collecting
Yes,
rent.
ma'am.
I haven't
She has not
collected
paid
rent
Yes, ma'am.
since April. Since she gave me the security deposit.
And you also
Your
haven't
Honor.
moved for an eviction.
Yes, I have.
Yeah,
I
we
got
have
paperwork.
papers on that.
When did you do that? How many months later?
Probably about a month later, maybe.
Did they ask you to leave after you beat
Yes,
her
'cause
down?
No, they did not.
Yes, she did. I offered her
asked him, Your Honor,
$200.
for my
Stop
money
talking.
back. I said,
No.
just give me
Let her
my
talk.
security deposit and my first month's rent.
Because
and
you
I'll
know
leave.
it's pretty much not going to work for you to live there after
Exactly.
you beat down your landlord's
He
girlfriend.
came back to
But
me.
she's still
He
there.
said, well, first he said, I'm not giving you anything. Just get the F out. And then he came back later and said, look, I really don't want to go through this. We could just squash this and everything will be all right.
Looks like that's what happened.
No, I told her I would give her $200
If she moved on
if
the
she
first
moved
of
by
the
the
next
first
That is
month.
of the
not
next
true, Your
month.
Honor.
Let me see your
And
eviction
I-
paperwork.
I
Have you
one.
been served eviction papers?
Yes, and I went
What
to
date?
court.
Just tell me what date.
It was filed June the 1st, if I'm correct.
So she moved in April. You say she beat down your girlfriend.
Right.
April 2nd, the day after she moved in, and you don't file for eviction until June. All right.
Well,
Go
the thing
ahead.
is-
What happened? What else happened? You said she had multiple fights with people?
Yeah, she got into it. First, she was getting into it with her roommate. I mean, they fussing, arguing, cussing each other out every day. about
Physically
something.
fighting? The two of you were
Yeah, they
physically
were-
Yeah, they
fighting?
got into one
Physically
physical
fighting.
fight.
Called, yeah,
The
one
police
time.
was called numerous of times to my home.
Who was calling the police?
Everybody.
were.
We was. I
They
called
were.
a couple of times. The neighbors
They
have
were.
called.
Nobody but them.
So you were
She called
fighting.
too.
You were
Yeah,
fighting with your roommate.
Yes.
They roommate
About what?
called the police.
We fought that once because she cut my refrigerator cord. She cut my appliances. I went to go
Why?
look for
And
a
you
house.
beat her up too?
I went to go look for a house. When I came back, she cut my cord. She said, well, you owe me that in lights and gas.
Yeah, they.
And so
they
you did what as a result? When you saw she cut your
cut
cord?
her cords too.
Cut her cords too.
And fought.
Okay.
And we got
then
into
what?
a physical
And you got to
altercation.
and who called the police on that one?
No
She
one.
did.
No one, because you just
We
gonna,
didn't
you just gonna
fight.
duke it out. That's how you solve your problems.
No, that's not, but I was defending myself.
And you're
Your
41
Honor.
years old and you have 2 kids. And in the 5 minutes I've heard this case, I've heard about 2 fights you've had with people.
And that's more.
Yes, ma'am.
And there's more.
Coming up on Judge Faith, was the apartment a wreck or a work in progress?
This is the bathroom above this. He said he was going to repair this after first month's rent.
That is the leak that I fixed up in
That's
the
how the
bathroom.
ceiling looks
Yes, that's
inside the
how
home?
Yes, ma'am.
Just by that photo alone, that's a real problem.
Plaintiffs Crystal Sims and Germaine McFarley say they're tired of arguing with Elizabeth about the apartment and just want her out. They're suing for a security deposit, rent, and property damage. Defendant Elizabeth Ross says she doesn't owe any money because the apartment is uninhabitable. She's countersuing for the return of rent and a security deposit.
You have anger issues? Clearly you do.
It's only when she's drinking. That's the only time she get belligerent
We
is
was
when
it's an
she's
everyday
drinking.
when I went to go
Yeah.
look for the house and came back.
Is that true?
No, it's not true. I've gotten into a physical
How many
altercation
other fights have you had since you've lived there? With who else?
with my roommate
gotta
and
think about
the
it.
lady down the street. And that's because my roommate
With
went
another
down-
neighbor down the street.
Yes.
So that's 3 people.
Yes, it is. My roommate went down there saying, oh, she said this about you, she said that about you. And that's how I end up keep getting into it with her.
Oh, because you
of my
felt like you were
roommate.
disrespected. How old are your
No,
kids?
I
How old are your
feel-
kids?
My kids are 16 and 10.
And they live with you?
Yes.
According to you, everyone tries to attack you.
Okay.
You have to defend yourself on multiple occasions with different people. Most of us don't have to walk around defending ourselves every 3 weeks against someone trying to jump on us. I mean, you're physically saying you have to defend yourself. And you want me to believe that you are not the aggressor and you don't have anger issues. You have a 16-year-old and a 10-year-old. They're living with you, right?
Right.
And you and your roommate are carrying on like that? Do you love your children?
Yes, I do.
Okay, well, you understand what you're teaching them, right? When they see you cussing and fighting, physically being violent with other people, you are teaching them to solve their problems with violence. That is not the environment you want to raise your kids in, ma'am.
No, ma'am.
That is not. Why are you suing her today, sir? She's still living there.
Well, I'm suing her for the damages to my property that she study tearing it up.
What kind of damages? Are you damaging his property?
No, ma'am.
I got
What
a
do you say she's doing?
broken window. She
Set the fireplace
set the
on fire.
fireplace, and the fireplace is just for looks.
It was one piece of wood that had some paint on it or some kind of paint or something on it, which did cause smoke.
Okay, but did he tell you
I
that it
know.
wasn't functional?
No, he did not.
Okay.
Not until after.
What is your countersuit about?
My countersuit is I want my security deposit back in my first
But you
month's
still
rent.
live there.
The agreement was, the agreement was,
last time you paid
I have
rent,
pictures, was May.
You paid rent in May. Okay.
Yes.
So
I have my dismissal from Detroit where I went to court for the eviction and he didn't show up.
Okay. Did you not show up on the eviction
No,
date?
I did not. I had to work that day because I just started working.
You don't really want her out.
I mean, yes, I do.
Because if you did, you would have pressed charges because then she would really be out.
Look,
I mean, that's the way. If you really care.
But see, though, I need the job in order to put her out. Without the job, I can't put her out.
What I'm telling you is, if you really wanted her out, all you had to do was press charges. Let me see the photos you submitted because you say the reason why you're not paying is because the place is uninhabitable.
Right.
Let me see. What is this a photo of?
This is the bathroom above this. He said he was going to repair this after first month's rent.
That is the leak that I fixed up in the bathroom.
That's how the ceiling looks inside the home?
Yes, ma'am. She seen that before she moved in, and I told her.
It doesn't. So, okay, let me explain something to you. You are a landlord now.
Yes.
Thank you, ma'am. You are a landlord now.
Yes.
It doesn't matter because I see these things happen all the time. Desperate people in desperate situations, they need somewhere to live, and they'll take anything.
Right.
That doesn't negate your obligations and duties as a landlord to rent a property that's past code and that is inhabitable. Just because someone comes along and they say, hey, I'll rent it as is, you can't do that. Even if they say they will. As a landlord, that's your responsibility to make sure that a place is inhabitable for someone to live.
Yes.
Just by that photo alone, that's a real problem.
Coming up, Judge Faith rules. And now, Judge Faith rules.
Before I get to the legal aspects of this case, I have to tell you I'm really concerned about the things you're doing in front of your kids. You have a kid who's young as 10 years old, and someone's going to call Child Protective Services on you.
They've been called.
They've been called twice.
I mean, that's just the bottom line, because what you're doing in front of your kids is abuse. Now, in terms of the legal aspect of this case, first of all, this place is not ready to be leased to anyone.
Right.
It's simply not ready.
Yes.
And so you have to move. In the court, once you go to eviction court, that's what's going to happen. They're going to order you to move one way or the other if it's for non-payment of rent, but mostly because it's uninhabitable.
Yes.
Even if the place was legal and able, and you were able to rent it out, you've prematurely filed this case because she's still living there. What if I gave you a judgment today for 2 months of back rent, but she lives there for 5 more months? Your first priority should go to eviction court, get her evicted, and then you sue for back payment of rent that she hasn't paid. But you can't even do that at this point because this place is uninhabitable.
Right.
You have countersued for the return of your security deposit. That's also premature because you still live there. He has to make an assessment. You say she damaged the property?
Yeah, study
The
damage.
place looks almost condemned as it is.
Yes.
I understand what the agreement was. You would pay rent and he would continue to work on the house to do repairs. You needed a place to stay, you needed the money.
Yes.
But now you're coming into court and I have to interpret this from a strictly legal perspective, and that's what I'm doing. So what has to happen here is the two of you have to go to eviction court to get this whole thing sorted out in terms of you moving, and you need to move.
Yeah.
This is not a place you want to live with your 2 kids.
No.
Okay? So you need to get out of there, and if you don't get your security deposit back and you think that's unfair, that's when you file a lawsuit. But right now, this lawsuit is not timely. Your lawsuit has a number of issues because I find that at this point, this place is uninhabitable and she should not have ever moved in there in the first place. But your remedy, in any event, is to go to eviction court first. So I'm dismissing both of your cases without prejudice.
I feel like she's absolutely correct that all that I'm going through, I indirectly take my children through, and I wanted to take care of it the second I get back to Detroit.
She's right. I didn't have the place together. I shouldn't have never rented, but I know not to go with my heart next time, other than feeling sorry for somebody.
Today on Judge Faith, after helping a grieving friend, his business got stuck with a big bill.
From the beginning, I told Dave I had no money, none. He has the mortuary people that come in and they do the same thing. They shake your hand and it's like a used car salesman, you know?
I gave you the discount and I did everything I could for you. I said you had to pay me the money.
You say you had no money to pay for your mother's funeral. Then all of a sudden, people produce checks paid on your behalf by this person who you cannot prove exists to me.
And later, her daughter's best friend stole her identity, then showed off on Instagram.
She posted money Gucci shorts for a 4-year-old, but she can't pay her tickets.
Why are you posting all these 20s on Instagram?
I wanted to.
Just so you know, whenever I see people posting money on Instagram, that means they don't have it.
Faith Jenkins. Her distinguished legal career began when she graduated first in her law school class. She quickly became a tough New York City prosecutor, and then a preeminent legal analyst on cable news. And now she's the judge in her own courtroom. Her cases are real, and her rulings are final. She is Judge Faith. Plaintiff David Fernandez says he never expected his former friend to pay for his services with a counterfeit check. He's suing for unpaid funeral expenses. Defendant Steve Coley says David knew he had no money to pay for his mother's funeral, and he had nothing to do with the bogus check. He's accompanied by Rhonda Oxenham.
All rise. Court is in session. The Honorable Judge Faith Jenkins presiding. Please be seated. Your Honor, the litigants have been sworn in. This is the case of Fernandez versus Coley.
Thank you, Juan. David Fernandez.
Yes, Your Honor.
You are suing the defendant, Steve Coley,
Yes, ma'am.
for $5,000 for unpaid funeral expenses and pain and suffering?
That's correct.
Okay, why don't we start from the very beginning, sir, and you tell me what's going on.
Okay, I met Mr. Cooley a couple years prior to this when his brother passed away. And that's when I met his mom and the family, and I did everything I could for Steve and the family, which they were satisfied with, and okay. So now his mom has passed away in February of 14, and so Steve comes to me, and I said, yes, Steve, what do you want? I said, Dave, my mom's passed away. I said, okay, Steve, I'll help you, you know. This is what I do. I help people.
And so your business is caskets and more?
Right.
And what exactly do you do?
Well, I sell the vault, the flowers, the caskets, the property. I just don't pick up the body. I'm not serviced or licensed to pick up the body. Steve asked me to help him get some property for his mom, which I did. Made a big discount, and the cemetery is about $6,000. I think I sold it for $32 for Steve. Also the casket, big discount, and the vault, everything, tried to help him out. So I did all that. And in the process, Steve had told me that he was a little tight with some money, but he was going to give me the money, because I said I had to have the money paid before the services.
Okay, and tell me what happened.
We go see Dave, and Dave, you know, he treats you like the best person around. He's a good guy. Don't worry about nothing. We're going to take care of it, you know. And from the beginning, I told Dave I had no money, none.
He's running a business. Did he tell you, don't worry about it?
He shake my hand, tell me all the good things. I told him there's a man that's going to handle some fundraising and do the computer, and I don't know how it works, but that he would be handling this. But Dave has his friends. He has the mortuary people that come in and they do the same thing. They shake your hand, and it's like a used car salesman, you know? You know, treats you real nice, and you know, everything's gonna be taken care of.
So what do you say happened?
Well, no, that's not true. He had a pastor friend who was gonna pay or write a check for the full amount. Now, I had conversations with Steve. I said, Steve, I said, you know, I'll work with you, but nothing's for free. I mean, you know,
Listen,
I gave you.
Hold on a second, sir. Hold on a second.
I gave you the discount, and I did everything I could for you. I said, you have to pay me the money. He's a return customer. You know, we had buried his brother a couple years, so of course we're going to bury his mom and do what's right. But it wasn't for free, and Steve knows that because I even approached him on it. Yeah.
What was the total amount?
On my end, it was $23.05 plus another couple $100 with some other, you know, going to court.
And you agree that he did service you with the casket and the flowers and the property, sir?
We got a casket. We got one thing of flowers, and.
But you agree that he did provide you with the services that he said he would. The two of you discussed, and you buried your mother, correct?
Yeah, my mother got buried, and we got a casket, and we had one set of flowers.
From his company,
I
right?
suppose so.
Yeah. Did you not give him a check?
No.
Who gave you the check?
He was supposed to give it to me the day before his mother's funeral.
I never was going to give you a check ever.
Yeah, he did.
No, listen, sir.
No.
So tell me what happens. How do you get paid and what happens?
Because I called him, I said, Steve, I said, this has to be paid before the services.
You told him that you didn't have any money, but he told you he needed to be paid, right?
He knew I had no money from the gate. He knew was dealing with this guy Dave, and we were talking with this guy Dave that was helping us.
Who is Dave?
Dave is a friend of my mother's that worked for her. She had a business like helping people out of prison and...
So hold on one second. So what ends up happening, he gives you a check.
Give me a check. I looked at it, I said, okay.
May I see a copy of the check, please?
Yes.
And what happens with the check? You go to deposit it in the bank the next day, what happens?
It takes like 2 days. So we run the check and the bank comes back, Chase Bank comes in, it's a counterfeit check.
Coming up, a good deed is rewarded with a bad check.
I took the cheapest way out. I didn't get my mom embalmed. I went away, closed casket.
When his mother passed, he was devastated. David and his friend, the mortuary, prayed on him, brought him in, had him pick out a casket, said knowing he had no money.
And later, unopened mail leads to thousands of dollars in damages.
So the issue is she's getting tickets.
Ticket after ticket after ticket.
It was like probably 7 or 8 tickets before it got told.
7 or 8 tickets. You're gonna stick with that story?
Yeah, I will.
30 tickets over the course of 5 months.
Plaintiff David Fernandez says he was shocked when his former friend paid with a counterfeit check. He's suing for unpaid funeral expenses. Defendant Steve Coley says it wasn't his fault David didn't get paid because a friend of the family wrote the bad check.
Did you call the police and make a police report?
Yes, in fact, I
May I see that? And what happened when you approached the defendant about this check?
I asked him, that's when I asked him, I said, can you make some kind of payment? I'll work with you. But he said, hell no, I'm not gonna, I'm not gonna work with you. I said, Steve, come on.
So this check is signed by David. You say that's a friend of your mother's.
Yes, David.
Okay, clearly you had a conversation with David about this.
I had, my girl, everyone was dealing with Dave.
Can you step up, ma'am? Yeah.
I didn't know Dave was gonna write a check. I didn't know how he was gonna write.
What conversation did you have with David about the money you owed for the funeral? Because it's for the exact amount.
We weren't aware of how he was paid. We gave him the information to contact him, and all that was done without our knowledge.
So you come before me, you say you had no money to pay for your mother's funeral. Then all of a sudden, people produce checks. Both of the checks are fraudulent. They're paid on your behalf by this David person who you cannot prove exists to me.
When his mother passed, he was devastated. David and his friend, the mortuary, they kind of like prayed on him and brought him in, had him pick out a casket, said knowing he had no money.
Let me just stop you because I'm sure it's a difficult thing when you lose a parent. I'm sure you were suffering and going through a tremendous amount of grief. But at the same time, these people are running their businesses and you can't write forged checks or have someone else write forged checks.
We agree.
To pay for these services, and that's what happened. I think you wanted to get your mother buried, and you thought, I'll deal with whatever I have to deal with afterwards.
No. I mean, Your Honor, if I was trying to get over, I would, this guy was trying to upsell me, give me the top of the line stuff, I went the cheapest. I didn't know what to pick. I took the cheapest way out. I didn't get my mom embalmed. I went away, closed casket, 5-10 minutes at the graveyard. If I had something, if I was going to do something bad, it sure wouldn't have been taking the cheapest way out I could.
Listen, I'm sorry for you, sir, but the bottom line is a service was provided and you have to pay for it. And what concerns me even more, this wasn't just a check written and there were insufficient funds in your account. This was counterfeit. This is felony level fraud committed, counterfeit checks. Someone's writing them. I am ordering you to pay for the funeral services. You're asking for pain and suffering. This is a breach of contract case. I'm ordering you to pay for the funeral services, the amount of the bounce check in addition to the court cost. $2,305, judgment for the plaintiff. Good luck.
I ain't paying you, dude. I ain't paying you.
You deserved it.
Call the police on someone else, because I'll see you in the street.
Plaintiff Cassandra Armstrong says her daughter's BFF accumulated thousands of dollars in traffic tickets after fraudulently registering a vehicle in her name. She's suing for unpaid traffic tickets and transportation costs. Defendant Gwen Cole says she doesn't owe any money because the vehicle wasn't registered in her name and no tickets were mailed to her address. She's countersuing for the cost of her vehicle.
Cassandra Armstrong?
Yes.
You were suing the defendant, Gwen Cole?
Yes.
For $2,500, you say she owes you for unpaid traffic tickets and transportation costs?
Yes.
And you are countersuing, ma'am, for $3,000. You say she owes you for the cost of a vehicle?
Correct.
Okay, we'll start with you, Miss Armstrong. Tell me what's going on here.
Well, I'm here because Gwen stole my identity. She got several tickets, and I'm here to get my money for the tickets.
What do you mean by she stole your identity?
She asked me, my daughter asked me, could I register Gwendolyn's car? And I said I would think about it. So Gwendolyn and myself went to the motor vehicle, and I paid a fine, and I couldn't register the vehicle, so I went home.
Okay, so let's back up for a second. You purchased a car.
I purchased the car.
What kind of car?
A 2001 Dodge Durango.
Okay.
No, it's a 2000, Yana. It's a 2000, not a 2001.
It's a 2000.
Okay,
It was a 2001 Dodge Durango.
I have the title right here, y'all. It's a 2000.
Yeah, she still has the title that she never gave me back.
You didn't pay your tickets,
asked her to
Gwen.
register the car.
Hold on a second.
I'm talking.
Hold on a second. Both of you stop.
I asked her to
Let's
register.
go back to the very first question
Okay.
I asked you. What kind of car is
A
it?
2001 Dodge Durango.
Okay, tell me about the conversation you then have with her after you purchased the car.
I asked her daughter, Tashay, which is my friend, if her mother could register for me. She told me to ask her myself, which I did. She agreed to do it. She said that her license was suspended. I had to pay some fine for her at the DMV in order for her to register it, which I did. I paid for it out of my own money, my own pocket. We went to the DMV. I paid for it.
You say you went to the DMV
Yes,
together to
together.
register this vehicle in her name.
Correct.
And why did you not want to register it in your name?
Because it would be high, and she's much older, and it would be like cheaper for me.
So you were trying to get cheaper insurance by putting it in her name, which is basically a form of insurance fraud. Okay, and you say what
But she
happened?
agreed My license to it. was
Because
suspended, and
the
you had a
car
suspension.
is.
Why would you want to put it
Excuse
in
me,
my
ma'am.
name?
Excuse me.
She didn't know how.
I'm sorry.
Do you want to do this by yourself?
No,
If you want
ma'am.
to cross-examine her and do this
No,
on your
ma'am, I'm
own,
sorry.
I can go back to the back and you guys can work it out.
Yes, ma'am.
I will throw your case out. I'm not
Yes, ma'am.
joking. So you say the two of you went to the DMV together and registered the car in your name together. You say what to that?
I filled out the paperwork, but I went home because I couldn't register the vehicle that day. We couldn't do the car. We couldn't register the vehicle.
How do you say she was able to get this vehicle
'Cause she
registered
had the
without you being there?
She had the paperwork with my name on it, and I don't have to be present. So she took the paperwork back with my name on it and registered the vehicle that
On
day.
her own?
Right.
So she just committed fraud, and you're saying it's done, it's okay, we'll just go forward from here?
It wasn't okay, but it's done. I knew Gwen to be reliable.
According to you, you're saying she committed fraud, and then you're okay with it.
In a way, she
5
did.
hours later. What
Yes.
happens next?
About 4 months later, the police knocked on my door. Banging on my door was a detective, the mall detective. They said that the vehicle, a picture was taken of the vehicle. Someone swiped their credit card to go through the parking, and she tailgated them and went through the parking without paying. I called Gwen, questioned her about the parking. She gave me some nonchalant story. It wasn't her, but they had a picture of the vehicle.
So the issue is she's getting tickets.
Ticket after ticket after ticket.
Okay, what's going on with the tickets?
It was like probably 7 or 8 tickets before it got told. I didn't know that I was getting them because they're red light tickets, and they send them to her house. She never changed her address on her license, so they was going to her old.
You don't know.
They
You don't know
I didn't
that
know
you
about
got
them
a
because
single ticket in the 7 or 8.
well, the red light ticket they send them to your house.
Juan, would you hand me the document from? Is this a DMV document about the
Yes, it
tickets?
is. She had 30 tickets in all. Three camera light tickets and the rest parking tickets in front of her door.
7 or 8 tickets. You're going to stick with that story? I'm looking at the paperwork. Red light camera violation.
Supposedly she paid all
Expired
of them.
meter. Parking within 30 feet of a stop sign. Parking within 15 feet of a fire hydrant. 30 tickets over the course of 5 months. You're not paying any of these tickets. I mean, do you just not obey any of the traffic laws? You just...
Yeah, I do.
Doesn't look like you do. And if the car isn't registered in your name, you just don't care?
It's not that I don't care. I gave Miss Sandra money.
No, I'm not talking about paying the tickets. I'm talking about getting them in the first place.
If she was paying them, half of them wouldn't be on that paper, because I would give her money to pay them.
You worked with LAPD. Have you ever heard of someone getting 30 tickets in 5 months?
That's a bit much, Judge. It's a
Yeah,
bit much.
that's what I thought. I know when the parking agents see you driving up, they probably look at your car and say, I wonder where she's going next, because they know they're going to write you a ticket.
Coming up on Judge Faith, Gwen's deception runs deeper as Cassandra's bills get bigger.
What happened with your truck and these plates?
They told me that it was fake also.
That they had been reported stolen?
Yes.
Right, and you want me to believe that you went through somebody at the DMV. That sounds very legit, just so you know.
Plaintiff Cassandra Armstrong says she can't register her vehicle because Gwen is refusing to pay the tickets. She's suing for unpaid traffic tickets and transportation costs. Defendant Gwen Cole says she doesn't owe any money because Cassandra never informed her about the overdue tickets. She's countersuing for the cost of her vehicle.
You've had her to register the Dodge Durango in her name, and then those plates were taken away. I'm assuming you took.
No, I returned them back to the DMV.
So you returned them to the
She returned them
DMV
in.
because she's getting all these tickets in her name. And then what happens? How do you get plates on the truck again?
Because my dad had someone in the Bronx who supposedly did plates and insurance through Pennsylvania.
What do you mean did plates and insurance?
It was a lady, really, it was a lady who she claimed that she worked in the DMV in Pennsylvania.
Hold on a second. So now you're crossing state lines to get tags on the truck again because you know someone who does plates and insurance? What happened with your truck and these plates?
My truck got towed.
And what did they say about the plates?
They told me that it was fake also.
That they had been reported stolen?
Yes.
Right. And you want me to believe that you went through somebody at the DMV?
Well, she claimed that she worked at the DMV.
That sounds very legit, just so you know.
Well, I didn't know.
Tell me what happens next.
She posted money, Gucci shorts for a 4-year-old.
Yeah.
Gucci shoes, Gucci belt for a 4-year-old. And she has a 3-month-old, twins, Burberry vest. But she can't pay her tickets.
Why are you posting all these 20s on Instagram?
I wanted to.
Just so you know, whenever I see people posting money on Instagram, that means they don't have any. Okay, so you never had the title.
She wouldn't give it to me. She held it hostage.
Okay, so you never had the title.
Oh.
What does that have to do with you not paying the tickets on this car that you drove for 5 months?
Because after 7 months, I ended up not having no car thanks to her because she never gave me my title.
Do you understand your logic? I mean, let me just break this down to you. You understand the issue with the car is because you got all of these tickets on the car and they haven't been paid?
But I was
we can't get past that before we get to the next issue. This all starts because you don't know how to drive and follow traffic laws.
I know how to drive.
What's your counterclaim about?
If I didn't give her any money, do you think me and her daughter would still be friends?
What is your counter? I don't care about that. That's irrelevant. That's an irrelevant issue that you and her daughter are still friends.
It's just my point of that she's a liar.
I don't
she
care.
Said that
maybe her daughter doesn't have good judgment. I don't know.
Went to the DMV.
What's your counterclaim
She said I went to the
about?
DMV and act like I was her. Like I could be her.
You don't want to tell me about your counterclaim? Fine. What else do you have, man? What else do you want to show me?
I just want her to pay for these tickets because I'm not able. I called Gwen in February when I bought a car. I tried to register it. I can't before the ticket because of these tickets. My registration is suspended indefinite until these tickets are paid.
Okay.
So I have a car sitting that's parked in a mutual friend's parking lot driveway that I can't drive.
Coming up, Judge Faith rules. And now, Judge Faith rules.
No matter what was going on with the issue, with the title, and I'm not even sure how or why you would even agree. Well, you say you didn't agree at the very beginning and that she registered this vehicle behind your back. I'm not sure I actually believe that. Something happened here with DMV. It's very difficult for someone to just walk in DMV and register a car in your name. You said you already filled out the paperwork, but well, I don't know. You say you know a lot of people at DMV, so you may have had another.
No, I don't know anyone. I don't know anyone at DMV.
I don't know. Maybe after 2, 3, 5 tickets, maybe you need to think to yourself, maybe I need to be a more prudent driver, right? But you don't do that. You just keep getting ticket after ticket after ticket, and your main defense is you want to come in here and say, well, I gave her $400. Why don't you just stop getting tickets and try to drive like a normal person?
They're not driving tickets, they're parking.
Your counterclaim is dismissed. $1,759.17. Judgment for the plaintiff.
Today on Judge Faith, one man's hoopty is another's hot rod.
It's hard for me to talk about. The car, that's my baby, you know?
He was just calling me saying, I want my money. You did just hit my car.
So I see there are several parts of your car that are damaged. What do you say he caused?
Well, okay, the hubcap, that was prior, you know.
So you always drive around with a missing hubcap on the car that you love so much?
And later, a soothing trip to the spa results in an unhappy ending.
So eyes closed, I'm laying there, and she shoved her fingers deep into my ears and started rotating clockwise with my head moving like that, trying to massage I think, my brain inside.
If you don't like this, you just say stop or no. They will understand well.
This is your day in court. You gotta, if you're gonna make this happen, you gotta make it happen today.
Faith Jenkins. Her distinguished legal career began when she graduated first in her law school class. She quickly became a tough New York City prosecutor, and then a preeminent legal analyst on cable news. And now she's the judge in her own courtroom. Her cases are real, and her rulings are final. She is Judge Faith. Plaintiff Daniel Clemens says his former friend backed his prize ride into a pillar and promised to pay for the damage. He's suing for the cost to repair the car. Defendant Richard Hunley admits he caused the damage, but claims he doesn't owe anything because Daniel was distracting him. He's countersuing for harassment and slander.
All rise. Court is in session. The Honorable Judge Faith Jenkins presiding. Please be seated. Your Honor, the litigants have been sworn in. This is the case of Clemens versus Hunley.
Thank you, Juan. Daniel Clemens?
Yes.
You were suing the defendant, Richard Hunley?
Yes.
For $3,000 for car repair costs?
Yes.
And you are countersuing, sir, for $3,000 for harassment and slander?
Yes.
Okay, we'll start with you, Mr. Clemens. How do you know the defendant?
I know the defendant from 4 years ago. We met because we were sent to the same assignment. We were with a temp agency, and we were the only ones that had that really energetic spirit. So we really hit it off, and we've been friends ever since. Well, I mean, we were friends up until the incident with my car. It's hard for me to talk about it. Just the car. That's my baby.
How would you describe your relationship with Mr. Clemens prior to this incident?
A real good relationship. We hung out outside of work, so much so prior to that, he came to me and he asked for a loan, and I lent him some money.
And he paid you back?
No.
Oh, okay. You're not countersuing for a loan.
No. This is, I'm countersuing for
harassment,
but part of me feeling like I'm not, obligated to pay is because I wasn't paid back the money that I loaned him.
Okay. Why don't we talk about how we got here today?
We were at the mall. We were there, and I didn't feel like driving that day, because I was kind of tired. So I said, you could drive,
And so you let him drive the car that you love so much?
Often,
do you do that often?
He's done it before, yeah.
So you asked him to drive as a favor because you were tired?
Yeah.
So he did a favor and said, okay, I'll drive your car for you?
Yeah.
Okay.
And so we're in the parking garage of the mall, and he's pulling off, and he turned too soon, and he kind of scraped the bumper pillar when he was turning.
What kind of car is this?
It's a 1999 Grand Marquis, the ultimate car.
Your Honor. Your Honor, for the record, I drive a 2000 Grand Marquis as well.
It's nice.
Okay, so I see there are several parts of your car that are damaged. It's missing a hubcap. There are some dents along the side.
Well,
what do you say he caused?
Well, okay, the hubcap, that doesn't have anything to do with this. That's just something that was prior,
So you always drive around with a missing hubcap on the car that you love so much?
Well, it's kind of a thing. People like it. They talk about it like, oh, wow, you're so, innovative and stuff like that. So,
Can you walk over to the flat screen and show me where you say he hit your car in the parking garage that day?
Okay, basically it started from here, as you can see, this dent. It was just like, and I was just like, what? I was just like, what was that,
All right, thank you, sir. Thank you. Mr. Hunley.
Drama.
Mr. Hunley, what do you say happened, sir?
Coming up, a driving demonstration in court.
Juan, please put your hands up like you're driving. Show me what he was doing while you were driving the car.
He was basically talking like, what's going on? You think I'm crazy? Just all in my space.
And later, magic fingers, or lethal weapons.
And the nails actually did cut inside my ears. There was abrasion cuts inside it.
Have you had this kind of massage before inside of your ears?
That's not the way he's describing it.
Plaintiff Daniel Clemens says his former friend backed his car into a pillar and is refusing to pay for the damage. He's suing for the cost to repair the car. Defendant Richard Hunley says the accident wasn't his fault because Daniel was distracting him. He's countersuing for harassment and slander.
I drove down there, so naturally I got in the driver's side and we were leaving. We were fussing because I wasn't ready to go, he was ready to go. And he was gesturing with his hands as, I'm trying to, get out of there.
What was he doing with his hands? I want you to show me. Demonstrate. Actually, Juan, would you step over there next to the defendant? So now you're driving. Juan is the passenger.
Oh. Well, no, he would have to be the driver.
Hold on a second.
Okay.
Okay. Juan, you're driving. You are the plaintiff as the passenger.
Right. So
show me what he was doing while you were driving the car.
All right, so yeah, you're looking at me and we're talking and he's, gesturing with his hands like this.
So you're not looking at the road, you're looking at him.
Him and the road. Because, peripheral, I can see.
So you're driving using your peripheral vision.
At all. Yeah.
And so you're looking at him,
and
he's doing what with his hands? Juan, please put your hands up like you're driving. Show me what he was doing.
He was basically like, talking like, what's going on? You think I'm crazy? Just all in my space. Just, all in my space.
Okay.
So, as soon as I felt I was close to the podium, I stopped. So,
Thank you, Juan. So after he starts gesturing, then you hit the concrete pillar. What happens?
It was still, kind of the heat of the moment. I was trying to, not cause a scene. And so I was like, just get in the car. It's not that bad. I'll take care of it.
Okay, so you did offer to take care of it.
Well, at the time, that was just to dead the situation, the calm,
So you didn't really mean it. You just said it to
well, no, because in the back of my mind, I still was thinking he still owes me $300.
Why are you suing for $3,000 when the car is only worth $1,500?
It's just about the principle and just,
I'm not here to teach lessons, sir. I'm here to make an assessment based on the law and the amount of damages to your car.
The auto people, they gave me the estimate. It's $3,000 worth of damages.
You're telling me it's going to be $3,000 to fix the scrape on the side of that car?
It's more than the scrape, the dent. It was a dent, a scrape, and then a scrape. Like, a dent, scrape.
Why are you countersuing for harassment?
I'm countersuing for harassment because he left harassing messages on my phone.
No.
Did you do that?
I did not. I'm not harassing him.
He was just calling me saying, I want my money. You did this to my car. You said you was going to take care of it type thing.
Do you have any evidence of the harassment?
Just the voicemails. And then
Let me hear
some friends.
voicemail. Let me hear the voicemail.
What's going on? I mean, you said you were going to give me the money for the damage that you did to my car, and now you're playing games. I want the money. I'm not playing with you. I want my money.
It's threatening.
Okay? You said you were going to take care of this, and now you're acting like you don't know what's going on. All right? I want the money. I'm tired of playing games with you.
And that was just one of many, Your
Okay,
Honor.
so let's go over how this is harassment. He said, you said you would give me the money.
Mm-hmm.
Is that harassing you? Is that a threat?
No, that's not a threat.
I want my money.
What money?
You said you would give me the money. Surely you know what he's talking about.
Mm-hmm.
So why are you saying what money? You know what he's talking about. You drove the car. You damaged the car. You were negligent. You're saying that he contributed to your negligence by waving his arms in the air. I don't find that testimony to be credible. I'm ordering you to pay the plaintiff the value of his 1999 Mercury Grand Marquis, $1,542, and get a hubcap on that car while you're at it. Just for the plaintiff.
Plaintiff Aaron Baroni says his inner ears were injured during a full body massage, and his insurance only covered a portion of the expenses. He's suing for out-of-pocket medical costs. Defendant Mary Ding says Aaron was very demanding, but refused to provide her with doctor bills. And there is no way her massage technique could cause injury. She's accompanied by Irma Burnett.
Aaron Baroni?
Yes.
You are suing the defendant, Mary Ding, for $5,730 for out-of-pocket medical expenses, including doctor's visits, medication, lost wages, and pain and suffering?
Yes.
And you know the statutory maximum in my courtroom is $5,000?
Yes.
Okay, so we'll start from the beginning, sir. Tell me what's going on here.
I went to the defendant's massage parlor in Burbank, and basically, I went for a nice massage, but it ended up being the massage from hell. The masseuse, around the 45-minute mark is when they flip you around and put you on your back, and then they start doing your front. So basically, that's when the masseuse had her fingers were all lubricated with oil and lotions.
Mm-hmm.
So eyes closed, I'm laying there, and she shoved her fingers deep into my ears and started rotating clockwise with my head moving like that, trying to massage, I think, my brain inside. So it was really deep in, and it took me about probably, I would say, 8 to 9 seconds to realize what was going on, because, you know, I was not in that state. I was relaxing until I told her to stop, and she stopped, and obviously it hurt.
Are you the owner of the massage parlor, ma'am?
Yes.
Okay, how long have you been in business?
Burbank, this one, 2 years.
Okay, and are you the masseuse that gave him the massage?
No, I am her friend and a faithful customer of Mary.
Oh, you're a customer?
Yeah.
Okay. And what kind of massage did you get that day?
Normal body massage.
Okay.
I mean, I get massages probably once a month for the past, I would say, 10 years, because I work out often and I need it once a month at least. And never in my life had I ever had anyone, I mean, it's really unsanitary to stick your fingers that deep in. And the nails actually did cut inside my ears. There was abrasion cuts inside it because she went really deep and really hard.
Were you experiencing any pain?
When she was doing it, yes.
Afterwards?
Afterwards, no.
Okay.
Until nighttime. Nighttime when all night I was up. So in the morning I just texted my boss, said, hey, I'm not coming in because I was up all night. So, or in the afternoon, I decided to go into the defendant's office and tell her what happened because it was really bothering me. And I went in there and she said, her defense was, it's normal practice and she gets her ears massaged inside once a week, she claimed.
Is that true?
Yes, Helen, I picked her to do my massage. That's why
Helen is your masseuse with that day?
That day was,
okay.
Yes.
And have you had this kind of massage before inside of your ears?
Yes, and actually, Helen, I had Helen for 2 years. She's my favorite masseuse, and she never hurt me, never.
And you had this massage in your ears?
She comes, but it's not the way he's describing it, yeah.
Coming up on Judge Faith, the numbers don't add up.
Nothing has been deducted from your January or February pay.
No.
Okay, that's not what you told me earlier. That's not what you testified to earlier.
Plaintiff Aaron Baroni says he was injured during a full body massage. He's suing for out-of-pocket medical costs. Defendant Mary Ding says there is no way her massage technique could cause injury.
Okay, can you demonstrate? I understand you brought your massage table. You want to demonstrate to me the procedure that you did.
Only when we only have a 10 or 15 minutes on the head. We're pretty good on the head or like this. But for the ear, Helen does like this, but only touch, here, this area. And maybe have some pulling like this, but not only like this, only less than 1 minute or 2 minutes, that's all. If you don't like it, I always talk to the customer. If you don't like this, you just say stop or no, they will understand well.
Okay, and is there any reason why Helen isn't here today to testify about what happened that day?
Helen knows English.
She doesn't speak English?
Yes.
Thank you, ma'am.
Okay.
Thank you. Have there been any previous complaints by customers about this kind of massage?
Never, only him.
Once I went there the next day to complain, everything was fine. I got her insurance information just because I want to say, I'm going to have to go to the doctor. When I spoke to her the week after and I told her, hey, I went to the doctor says I have abrasions inside my ear. It was literally constant pain the whole day without the medication. And literally have to drop every like 45 minutes, you have to put a drop in there. She said that she'll only pay for my stuff if I go to her doctor, because she doesn't take the word of my doctor. And I said, listen, I'm not going to different doctor offices. I already know what my doctor is.
I asked him if he still hurts something like this, I can bring him go to see the doctor. But he says no. And then I ask if you already see the doctor, you give me the bill, I will pay it. That's all. But he says no.
And did you submit a bill to her?
No, I didn't, because she wasn't cooperating.
What was the date of the massage?
The date of the massage was January 8th. It was a Thursday.
And let me see your medical bills.
It's the prescription and the doctor's bill with the doctor's note.
Do you have any medical records?
No, that's just the note from the doctor.
I have an excuse slip. Was this given to your office?
I had the doctor write that so I could submit it to work because I had to take a week off.
See, I don't have your medical records. I just have here that you were seen in his office for external ear canal abrasions.
I have insurance, so insurance paid for obviously for most of it. It's just the only out-of-pocket cost was the week that I was out of work and just the co-pays.
Your out-of-pocket expenses, one $30 fee for going to the doctor and one $60 prescription bill.
Coming up, Judge Faith rules. And now, Judge Faith rules.
Okay, show me where the 7 days you say you weren't paid for are reflected on these documents, because you say you missed 7 days of work. I don't see it on your pay. Show me.
Yeah, it's not on there. It's time off.
Why would it not be on here? Because this is a pretty detailed document about what you got paid in January and what you got paid in February. You took 7 days off. Why would it not be reflected on these statements?
Our company doesn't log sick days onto the portal.
But it would be deducted from your pay, right?
It's personal days off. So I took 7 days of personal days off.
You were not deducted pay in January or February. So where would that be reflected if it would not be reflected in your January and February earnings statement?
Our personal days off accrue. So once it accrues, if we leave the company, you could cash out the days that you have left in the company. And that's...
So as of now, nothing has been deducted from your January or February pay?
No.
Okay, that's not what you told me earlier. That's not what you testified to earlier.
It's my personal days. It's my personal days that doesn't come out.
This is your day in court. You gotta, if you're gonna make this happen, you gotta make it happen today. You have to have your evidence and your proof today. Your evidence is really thin, and it's your burden of proof. The issue is it over $4,000 worth of pain and suffering? To me, when you come in here and you tell me that you missed this work, that you missed 7 days of work, that you weren't paid, that you missed a salary, and then you submit statements to me showing that that is not in fact the case, your credibility is sliding here.
I understand.
It's on a slippery slope right now, and it sounds like you're embellishing. My judgment in this case is for the plaintiff, $90 for the doctor bills and prescription bills, your out-of-pocket expenses, plus your court costs. Judgment for the plaintiff.